Hello, everyone. Welcome back to my channel, Tantra and Tarot with Kelly. Today, we're going to be discussing the full moon in Virgo, which is exact on March 18th, 2022 at 1:17 a.m. Mountain Time at 27 degrees of Virgo. So today I'm going to be doing a reading using the Osho Zen Tarot, which is this deck, along with some other decks. Woo! Cards are already popping out. So I'm going to shuffle and we're going to talk a little bit more about this lunation. I did some meditating on the energy, and basically I feel like it's time for Sleeping Beauty to come out of her slumber. Dreams now become a reality based on action, especially after you take out the garbage and the mental clutter. This lunation is ruled by Mercury and by Chiron, so it's time to organize those thoughts, heal the body, and clear out the clutter, no matter how painful it may be in the process. It will open up your energy and body for fresh ideas and new things coming into your life. Remember that any plan you move through any pain you move through becomes your superpower. So how else does this lunation feel to me? It feels like getting in tune with your throat chakra to really listen to your inner dialogue and remove anything that is self-deprecating. Being willing to get going on creative projects and feel excited to get your hands dirty. So that may be some gardening work, or it could be getting into the deep corners of some closets that you haven't visited in a while. But overall, take time to pause and analyze what needs to be fixed, mended, or organized, and come up with a plan and who's going to be on that team of yours for the plan, personally and spiritually. So it's certainly not about just what's going on in your external life at this time. Virgo in the tarot is the Hermit card, which means looking within for the answers. I'm going to take these two. It's going to be my first and my second. Looking within for the answers. So what does that mean? It's not just what's going on in like the exterior of your life. It's all about the interior. So letting the illumination of your consciousness help you clean out those areas that are in neglect. And I'm calling it the great detox. So what you feel like that is on the inside, that is a pattern or a toxic behavior that is nagging you in your mind, it needs to be cleared from the psyche, removed, or fixed. So these times support those edits through committed work and keen observation of behavior patterns. So I'm going to just draw a moon card, and then I'm going to get an animal spirit card, and we should be ready to go. Okay, so there's my moon card. I'm going to grab an animal spirit card, and then we are going to see what we have for this moon cycle. So this full moon is also going to be trine the North Node in Taurus. And so it really may give you some hints about where your soul is taking you at this time. And that leads us to basically being healthier in general in all areas of our lives, including our mentality and our relationship. All right. So what do we have? I've got a main energy. I've got a past, a present, and a future card. Our main energy for this lunation is the Nine of Cups. Nine of Cups. Here it says laziness. Then our past energy we have is the Four of Cups, turning in. Present energy, Ace of Cups, going with the flow. I love it. Future energy I have is the Five of Wands, totality. The animal spirit card I have, awesome, is the golden egg, which is the heart chakra card. The moon card I have is full moon in, just full moon, surrender to the divine. So any full moon, surrender to the divine. Then I took an archetype card, and that card I have here is slave. And I have two cards for the I Ching. I have, interesting, two in a row. I have number 27 and number 28. And we'll look at those a little deeper here. The bottom of the deck is the Six of Wands, success. So how do I feel all of this is working into the full moon? Well, looking at what I have here, I see this man is just loving life. He's chilling. He's got his drink. It's the Nine of Cups. It's feeling like a wish is going to come true. Having that wish in your heart of where you really want to put your energy. You've been through maybe more of a solo time, and now you know what you're in love with and you want to make that happen. And I think this is beautiful because we have the sun that's been conjunct Jupiter, which brings good luck and good fortune, as well as the sun coming into conjunction with Neptune, and then Jupiter coming into conjunction with Neptune. And what all of that does for us is allows us to dream the bigger dream and be able to really put our heart out there for what it is that we want, without the fear of maybe not getting what it is that you would like. The past energy I have here is turning in, and that is the Four of Cups. And the Four of Cups may just say that you've been a little disappointed with how things have been going, perhaps a little bored, and what energy may be coming to you. It's just not really what you're feeling anymore. And that can sometimes feel a little depressing, but typically it just feels like, I'm just not interested in that offer that I have right now. And maybe it's not being interested in your job, or perhaps it's an old relationship that's tugging on you where you're like, I just don't want to answer the phone. I don't want to deal with it. I'm going to set it aside and I'm going to focus on what I really want for myself right now. And what is that all about? Well, here we have the Ace of Cups. Look at this guy. He's just like chilling in the water, like no worries, no cares. And why is that? Because he loves himself first. He put himself first and is just going with the flow based on that self-love energy. And that self-love energy isn't the easiest to come by, but we certainly get that when we say no to things that aren't for us anymore, because we are putting ourselves first in doing that. And so saying no to things that just may not feel of interest, and using that effort and giving it back to yourself and putting yourself in the position where you're going to be successful at that new wish you have for yourself, that dream, what it is that you left the past for to go after is now coming to fruition. And that feels like you're on your high horse. It feels like, okay, I'm doing it. I had this plan. I had to cut out the things that didn't work for me anymore. And now I am succeeding at that plan and I'm really going to get what I want. And what does that mean? Well, if you're starting a business and that's your dream, there's always going to be competition. This says totality. You have to do something completely. We can't just do it half-assed because somebody else is going to be doing it completely. And if that's enough effort and energy to make you motivated to keep moving forward in your dream, then do it, because you don't want to be the guy that didn't get what he wanted because he was maybe a little too lazy, perhaps asleep at the job. And so you have an opportunity to really be a competitor in what it is that you have your heart set on. And so be ready. And if it means you have a little jealousy for the guy that's a few steps ahead of you, then that could be enough to drive you to make it to the finish line and in the way that you would like. So let's look at some of these other cards here. This goes right along with what we're talking about. This is the heart chakra card. And interestingly enough, I tend to pull this card a lot from this deck, I think, because it is such an important card. What is the message that your heart chakra is sending you right now? And if you can find a quiet place, this woman's meditating in front of the water. So maybe you just exit life a little bit, go sit next to a nice lake or the ocean if you're on the coast, or even just a creek through the mountains, and listen and turn in your worries and tune in to your heart. And what are those quiet sounds and those quiet moments that you hear that say to you, this is where my life is going. This is my soul path. The trine to the North Node should allow you to feel some of these bigger picture thoughts and give you a path of how to move forward in a way that it is incorporating what it is that you love and who it is that you love. Now, interestingly enough, this card that we have for the archetype card is the slave. It says, light attribute, surrendering your power of choice to the divine with complete trust. Isn't that interesting? This card says, surrender to the divine. And this one says, surrender your power of choice to the divine with complete trust. So a double message there about surrendering. And that means that we're going to give it up to God. We're going to give it up to our higher power. We're going to give it up to the universe and spirit. And we're going to say, this is in your hands. The only way to truly go with the flow is to let go of the worries and allow life to happen in the way that it's supposed to, which means it may not be going quite as fast as you'd like, or perhaps there's going to be some more changes that you have to make that aren't as easy, but working hard and doing it completely is going to take you out of what could be a possibly negative attribute of this card, which is giving your willpower to an external authority out of fear of making your own choices. So we always have a choice, and that choice shouldn't be ever based on fear. It should be based on love. And so the love that you have for yourself says, give it up to God. He's going to provide. She's going to provide what it is that you need at this time. And the test here is to trust and let go, which isn't easy, but that's the only way that we can find what it truly is that we're wishing for right now. So letting go and trusting, surrendering to the divine, and making sure that your energy isn't being squandered and wasted to people that just want to control you. So what does that mean for our I Ching cards? And I love this deck. They are so pretty. And they're written in French. So I'm going to look up. I will show you the beautiful pictures here. There we are. I'm going to look up what these cards mean. And we're going to talk a little bit about those as well. So let's see here, 27 and 28. So that's really a progression. It's just one step after another, which is great because we have our one step, Ace of Cups. One step ahead is this love that you have for yourself, and that's what moves you forward. So this says number 27 is nourishment. How awesome. And Virgo does such an amazing job, like nourishing all of us and having that level of service. And nourishing your body in a healthy way means really listening to your mind, body, and spirit. This says, nourishment refers to more than just a healthy diet of food. This hexagram represents caregiving as well. Eating the proper food implies caring for oneself. Providing healthy meals in the home implies caring for the family. So it says, you can know people by observing what they nourish in their own lives. Do they feed and take care of their bodies? Do they cultivate their spirits, their intellect, and their moral values? So the next card that leads to 28 is excessive pressure. Excessive pressure. Something is about to collapse. A great pressure is causing an imbalance that needs correction. If the dam is about to burst, moving out of the way is the first priority. Likewise, if you're in an old mine shaft and feel the earth begin to tremble, it's time for quick, instinctive action and nimble footwork. When the roof is collapsing, run first and choose your destination later. So if it feels like a panic, especially after you choose the direction you're going and there's that competition and there's that inner fire and fight that you want to win, you want to be the one on top, that excessive pressure, it could bring out the best and the worst in people. And so this says one can either move in the direction of positive change and improvement or towards stagnation. So do some meditation, decide what that feels like to you. And the best way to do it is to just clear your slate and to start anew and say, okay, this is my priority here. So I'm going to take any of the challenges with a grain of salt. And guess what? You will be successful. Oops, you will be successful. Okay, so the last message that we have between these is there's some changing lines between the two hexagrams here. And I'm going to look at let's see here. Oh, wow. All of the lines are changing. So I'm going to read lines 3 and 4. I'm just going to read the two middle lines for 27. Okay, here we are. When real nourishment is rejected in favor of the junk food of the mind or body, natural strength wanes quickly and significant achievements become very difficult. So be sure you're aware of what it is that you're putting in your body right now and what you're feeding yourself to, whether or not that is negative self-talk, things that you're putting up with that just aren't okay, anything that's toxic that needs to go, whether it's television, news, too much social media, chemicals in your food, your drink, or your medicines. Freshen it up, freshen up the friend list, simplify the patterns, break it down, and plant anew. And make sure, just like Virgo always does, to give it a good analysis. So let's read line number 4. When seeking help for a worthy cause, be as zealous as a hungry tiger. Oh, wow, how cool. Look, we've got the tiger right here on our success card. If your enterprise serves the common good, others will honor your determination. Only by generating a strong head of steam can a train's engine scale the mountain's pass. So good fortune to those who can get there and work with the strength that you have and work with your competitive nature to have a great success. And so where does that lead us? Well, if now is the time to detox and sow your dreams, just know that for the equinox, we have more light every day to do that. So meditate on bringing that light into the dark corners of your life that need attention at this time. For example, this week I was raking my yard and I felt like I was ready to rake out my brain, my body, and my aura, dusting out all the corners of my mind, and I'm ready to bag up the old thought patterns that aren't necessary anymore and drop them off at the recycling so I can gain more energy and fresh prana. So get rid of anything that no longer serves, and then ask yourself what you're doing to serve others and how that can be better refined or organized as well. Thank those who are in service to you, and always, just like Virgo, do your best. So please stay tuned for some Tantra yoga practice today aimed at opening your throat chakra so you can experience more of your own personal truth. Remember to please practice safely and at your own risk. Thank you so much for joining me. Please subscribe. Peace and namaste. For our Tantra yoga practice today, we will be doing asanas for the throat chakra. Please meet me in Sukhasana, easy pose. Cross your legs, allow your knees to open, press your sits bones into the earth, stack your shoulders over your hips, and lengthen your spine. Now flip-flop your legs to the opposite side. Begin to breathe in and breathe out of your nose using Ujjayi breath, constricting the back of the throat so that your breath sounds like an ocean wave. For today's practice, we are going to focus on the throat chakra. The throat chakra is the seat of sound in the body and is located in the throat and represented by a blue diamond. If you meditate on this energy center, you will allow more calmness, serenity, and purity into your life and be able to understand hidden messages in your dreams. In Tantra Yoga, we use Mula Bandha, which is a slight contraction of the root chakra, like you are gently engaging your low abdominals. Practice this now and feel the difference. We will keep Mula Bandha throughout the practice. Begin to open and close the jaw, focusing on positive affirmations. Only speaking kind words and the truth in your conversation with yourself. Inhale through the nose. Then open the mouth and let it all out. Ah. One more time, deep into the nostrils, feeling the air meet between the two nostrils. Then open the jaw and release all the air. Ah. Now come back to neutral. Then gently turn the head to the left and turn the head to the right. Release your neck forward to your chest, relaxing the muscles around the back of your neck. Deeply breathe into any tight spots. Then slowly roll your head to the right, allowing the right ear to drop over the right shoulder. Relax the shoulders down the back. To deepen the stretch, take the right arm across the head and gently encourage your head to move a little closer to your shoulder. And release the hand. Roll your neck back to center. Slowly roll your left ear to your left shoulder, relaxing the shoulders and jaw. Option to place your left hand gently on the side of your head to increase the stretch. Breathe in and breathe out. Now release. Come back into neutral and meet me in Balasana, child's pose. Open your knees wide, bring your big toes to touch, bend your knees, and bring your hips towards your heels. Reach your arms forward on the mat and spread your fingers. Breathe into your back here. Now come down onto your belly and place your hands on either side of your shoulders on the mat. Then inhale and spread your collarbones. Press into your hands and lift the head off the mat for Bhujangasana, Cobra pose. Engage the legs and lower spine. Press the tops of your toes into the mat. Then exhale and lower your right cheek to the mat. Inhale and lift your chest, pressing into your palms. Engage your legs. Then exhale completely and place your left cheek on the mat. Inhale and come into tabletop or all fours. Stack your shoulders over your wrists. Stack your hips over your knees. Keep a long spine and gaze to the mat. Breathe in and breathe out. Inhale and create a cat with your spine, pulling your abdominal muscles in and rounding the back. Then drop the belly and arch the lower spine for cow. Exhale. Inhale, round the spine like a cat. Then release the belly and contract the lower spine for cow. Exhale. Move organically between child's pose, all fours, with cat-cow. Breathe in and breathe out. Roll through these postures a few times. And come to neutral. Exhale. Inhale, tuck the toes and press through straight arms with the knees bent for reverse chair. Then straighten the knees so there is just a small bend. Exhale. Send your hips back and up for Adho Mukha Savasana, downward facing dog. Engage your abdominals and pull your front ribs in. Place your hands shoulder-width distance, spread your fingers wide. Press your thumb and forefinger into the block or mat and keep your neck neutral, gazing back. Slowly and gently lift one heel then the other, breathing and warming up the backs of the legs. Inhale and look to the palms. Roll your spine forward into Plankasana, high plank. Then hold the breath and bend the knees, pressing into the palms for reverse chair. Exhale. Inhale, straighten the legs for downward dog. Exhale. Let's do that one more time. Inhale, look to the palms. Roll your spine forward into Plankasana, high plank. Then hold the breath, bend the knees, pressing into the palms for reverse chair. Exhale. Inhale and straighten the legs for downward facing dog. Exhale. Inhale, lift your right leg off the mat and square your hips. Flex your foot and press into the back wall. Then bend your knee and open your hip to roll around the ankle a bit. Then place your right leg on the mat. Exhale. Inhale and lift your left leg off the mat and square the hips. Flex your foot and press into the back wall. Then bend your knee, open the hip, and roll around the ankle. Place your foot back on the mat. Exhale. Lift your right leg, bring it into the chest, and place the foot on the mat between your hands. Step the left foot to meet the right. Then roll all the way up into Samastitihi. Bring your big toes to touch. Engage your legs. Pull in the abdominals. Stack your shoulders over your hips with hands in prayer position. On an inhale, bring your hands into Kali Mudra, and then point them to the ceiling, arching your lower spine for a small back bend. Trace your index fingers to the back wall. Now come back to neutral. Exhale. Gently roll forward into Uttanasana, forward fold, placing your hands on the mat with a slight bend in your knees. Inhale and step your feet back into high plank. Then slowly lower all the way down to your chest. Exhale. Place your arms next to your sides with palms facing up. Place your right cheek on the mat. On an inhale, lift your arms, lift your legs and your chest off the ground for locust pose. Salapahasana. Engage your legs and spread your collarbones wide. Then release, placing your left cheek on the mat. Exhale. Let's do that one more time. On an inhale, lift your arms. Lift your legs and your chest off the ground. Engage your legs and spread your collarbones wide. Then release. And press back into Balasana, child's pose. Open your knees wide, bring your big toes to touch, and reach your arms forward on the mat. Breathe here for a minute or so. On an inhale, come into kneeling position with your knees hip distance. Engage your legs and press the tops of your feet into the mat. Use your hands like they are in the back pockets of your jeans and press the hips forward and lift the chest up for Ustrasana, camel pose. Exhale. Draw your gaze back and option to grab your heels with thumbs on the outside of the ankle. Breathe. Now slowly release back into Balasana. Option to stack your palms and extend your elbows wide and place your forehead on your hands. Breathe into your back and lower spine. And release. Now meet me on your back, placing your hands on the mat and lifting your legs up to a 90-degree angle. Preparing for Salamba Sarvangasana, supported candle pose. Lift your hips off the floor, rolling onto your shoulders. Keep the neck straight, gazing at the ceiling. Bend your elbows and use your hands to prop up your hips, keeping your legs straight, toes pointed to the ceiling like a candle. Breathe in and breathe out. If it is comfortable, you may very gently lower your feet behind your head for plow, halasana, keeping your neck straight and looking at the ceiling. Breathe. Then very slowly and gently release, one vertebrae at a time. Bend your knees and bring your feet to the mat. Lift your hips up for supported bridge pose, Setubandha Sarvangasana. Press through your feet, keep your arms straight on the mat and palms facing down. Press the back of the head to the mat and gaze up. Inhale and exhale. Use your inner thighs to support the pose, not clenching your buttocks. Now slowly lower your hips to the mat. You may do bridge one more time or take the option for wheel, Urdhva Dhanusarana. Place your hands behind your head, palms on the mat. Press into your hands and feet, lifting your buttocks and torso off the ground. Engaging your arms and legs and arching the spine. Breathe and hold. Great job. Now slowly release to the mat. Exhale. Meet me in a seated position. Bend your left leg and pull your left heel in. Then straighten the right leg for Janusirsasana. Inhale, lift your chest up. Lift your arms over your head and slowly release over the straight leg. Exhale. feeling a gentle stretch for the hamstring and lower spine. Breathe here. And release. Then bend your right leg and pull in your right heel and straighten the left leg for Janusirsasana on the other side. Inhale, lift your chest up. Lift your arms overhead and slowly release over the straight leg. Exhale. Allow your body to surrender in this posture. And release. Bend your knees, placing your feet on the mat, preparing for Navasana, boat pose. Reach your arms forward and rotate your palms up. Lift your chest and lean back, balancing your weight on your sits bones. Option to lift both feet off the mat, keeping your shins parallel to the floor, or extending your legs long. Flex your toes back to the face and squeeze your inner thighs. Draw your shoulders away from your ears. Breathe and activate the core. And release the posture, slowly, one vertebrae at a time. Open your knees wide so your legs are in a diamond position. Bring the soles of your feet together. Lengthen the spine and release the abdominals. Draw your shoulder blades down your back. Rest your arms on the mat with palms facing up for Supta Baddha Konasana, reclined bound angle pose. Release the muscles of your face and neck. Option to close the eyes. Breathe here. Now, gently bring your knees together and place your feet wide to the mat for a counter posture, teepee pose. Relax and breathe. Release the posture. Extend your legs long. Roll your feet out and rest your arms on the mat with palms facing up for Savasana. Relax your entire body. Imagine the color blue as you close your eyes and return to your natural breath. Clear your mind and allow this time for your body to incorporate the practice. I will guide you out of your posture in 2 minutes. Begin to wiggle your fingers and your toes. Gently roll into a fetus position on your favorite side, resting your head on your arm. Using your arms, press up into Sukhasana. Cross your legs and bring your hands to heart center and prayer position. Thank you very much for practicing with me today. We will do 3 ohms to end practice. Bring your hands to the third eye and bow forward. The light within me sees and honors the light within each of you. Namaste. Please subscribe to my channel for more Tantra and Tarot. Have a blessed and beautiful day.